Once again, welcome everyone. It's time to talk in detail about Balin's skull, about his unusual mission on the planet Peridia, and about the mysterious creature calling to him from the depths. As we are shown in the first season of Ahsoka, Balin is not a stereotypical villain, and he can't even be called an antagonist. He keeps himself apart from everyone, and while Ahsoka is trying to stop Thrawn, and Thrawn intends to revive the Empire, Balin is pursuing something more, and this more is somewhere far away where the statue of Father, the Lord of the Force, carved in the rock points. Particularly, attentive viewers notice that in the final scene of the series, Balin, peering at the horizon, looked towards a distant mountain from the top of which a ray of light rushes into the sky. Undoubtedly, this is the mysterious force that he was looking for. But what is it really? And is there any information in the history of Star Wars that can give us an answer to this question? Yes, there is, and today I will tell you about everything. I must say right away, the mysterious voice calling Balin is most likely Abeloth. You may ask, what is this Abeloth? Well, it's not what, it's who. I'll explain it in simple language. Here are the Lords of the Force who are introduced to us in the Clone Wars in the story arc of Mortis, father, son and daughter. Neutrality, dark side and light side respectively. If there is a father, then there must be a mother. Here, Abeloth is the same mother, though not biological, but rather by vocation. According to the available information obtained from the memories and legends of the Killiks, this is such an ancient race of insects. The woman who turned into an Abeloth was once known as a servant. She served the father, his son and daughter, fulfilling all their desires, but very little time passed and the servant entered the family of the Force Lords, becoming a mother. She maintained peace between the warring brother and sister and took care of father, preserving the happiness of the family for many years. Under her tutelage, the son began to use his destructive abilities for good purposes. He built walls and passages in the caves of the valley where they lived. Under her guidance, the children returned their home to its former beauty, restoring all the destruction and losses caused by their clash. In the old canon of Star Wars, the planet on which the Lords of the Force lived had no name, but as we can understand from the series Ahsoka, in the new canon, this very planet is Peridia. That's probably why the space whales flocked to her, because of the large concentration of the Force. But over the years, the mother gradually aged while her family remained immortal. In her old age, she could no longer control the rivalry of her son and daughter and began to fear that the family would leave her. In order to preserve the life she loved so much, Mother decided to commit the forbidden. While the father was distracted by his warring children, she secretly took water from the well of power as the son had done long ago. Then she brought her sin to an end by plunging into the pool of knowledge as the daughter had done a long time ago, but father discovered her. She was not immortal as the Lords of the Force, so the mountain and the pool distorted and destroyed her. They made her powerful but perverted her mind and body, turning her into a monster of the dark side known as Abeloth. She used her new abilities to enslave her adopted children, subjugating them and forcing them to bow before her at the fountain of power. But at that moment, the father, who was shocked and desperate that Abeloth stood up for his children, left the planet, taking his son and daughter with him, leaving Abeloth alone, hence fulfilling her deepest fear. Her family abandoned her. This drove Abeloth to madness and increased her desire to be loved and worshipped. Foreseeing that Abeloth would become dangerous to all living things, the son and daughter took control of the Killik hive from the planet Alderaan and used them as builders to create protection from the monster. In simple words, son and daughter imprisoned her in the depths of the planet. Probably in Ahsoka, we were shown the very place indicated by the statue of the father. Abeloth began to represent the antithesis of the father, as well as daughter and son for each other. While the father represented a balance in the Force, Abeloth was the embodiment of imbalance, constantly striving for chaos. Actually, such a story. Now, let's try to match it with the mission that Balin is performing. His story in the series Ahsoka turned out to be closely connected with the Lords of the Force, and something appeals to him from the depths of Peridia. And this something or someone grants him incredible power that will help him put an end to the vicious rivalry of the Jedi and the Sith, bringing stability and order to the galaxy at the same time. So, on Peridia, Balin can find either Abeloth herself or the very fountain of power, because of which she became the ruler of chaos. But personally, I see the whole story a little differently. Look at Balin, at his thinking, at his character, at his dialogues with other characters that show chaos and destruction are not exactly what he aspires to. He is not going to become the new Palpatine or Nihilus. On the contrary, Balin wants to achieve order. He can find Abeloth, free her, and get that very power, and then banish her, thereby becoming the new Lord of the Force. But as for his student, Shin Hati, everything is much more complicated. We have already been shown more than once how she is drawn to the dark side. If it wasn't for Balin, Shin would have done things of varying severity a long time ago. She is too hot-tempered, naive, inexperienced, impatient, and at the same time eager to get everything at once. Shin is like someone who sees a dubious source of power and immediately plunges into it. Therefore, while Balin makes his pilgrimage to the place of Abeloth's imprisonment, Shin, teaming up with the Peridian Raiders, and will try to find the fountain of power, the source of the dark side of the Force, which probably she will absorb in an act of seeking revenge on her enemies and getting even for the defeat in the battle with Sabine and Ezra. But also, it may well happen that Balin's plan will go a little wrong, because we know that there will be no order in the galaxy, because Rey, Snoke, Luke with filthy milk, and the rebirth of Palpatine are waiting for us next. Therefore, Balin may not get what he wants in the end, but Abeloth will still break free and will inhabit Shin Hati's body. Thereby, we will get a new galactic villain. But this is just my guess. Anyway, Balin is just the starting point, a lever that triggers the development of the plot of the Lords of Power, and perhaps in the second season they will even show us a father, son and daughter in a live action, and they will try to save or finally destroy Abeloth. Of course, I understand that they died in the Mortis arc, but it seems to me that such creatures simply cannot die. They are too powerful, and if the screenwriters want, they will be reborn. Write your opinion in the comments and what you can add to what I said, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. May the Force be with you.